Well, Britain has a production line of outstanding super middleweight talent. Before Carl, there was Joe Calzaghe, and before that we had that great era. Michael Watson, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank. I caught up with Chris, simply the best, to look back at a memorable career.
I was always looked upon as someone slightly removed. Not the typical boxer, which I'm glad. In the world we live in, entertainment is needed, and so to behave slightly different to the norm is a good thing.
Giving it the old Napoleonic strut there, doesn't he? Looking out of the crowd. What a character.
No one really knew me, and I was an oddity to everybody, and probably still am. From time immemorial, people have had a view that boxers are a bit dark, and I was very light, and I think that actually brought in that audience, and they liked the objectivity. You know, no, I don't hate you, I don't dislike you, I don't know you. I just need to score more points than what you score on me, so to raise my standard of living and profile. I used to vault the ropes. And everybody thought I was arrogant, obviously, of which I never was. It's all showmanship, you know. I actually wasn't that good. I was clever. So what I would do, I would make up for showmanship, or with showmanship, for what I didn't have in ability. I made it all look pretty convincing.
Well, it looks as though he was rehearsing for the Charleston a bit more there. I don't quite know, the Canadian didn't know what to make of that.
You might be belittling yourself a little bit when you say it was all show, etc., etc. I mean, you had a fantastic heart, you had no mean ability, and above all, you had a terrific chin, Chris.
If I want to remain charming in the eyes of the viewer, then I can't say that, oh, well, look at me.
That's what you used to do quite well.
No, but only in the ring.
He's piling it in there, Eubanks. Well, he's a bit of a character and maybe a little bit of cocky with it, but he can fight to prove his point.
Being charismatic is a very important thing, because if you're not, then you don't get the kudos that you deserve. And anybody who sees this interview, they may say, well, you know, he was a bit full of himself. You know, in how well.
But that made it. That made the show.
But that's how you're supposed to fight. You know, when you get into that ring, you know, you can do anything. Other than, you mustn't be ill. You mustn't behave ill. You mustn't be base. You mustn't taunt your opponent. You mustn't talk down to your opponent. You mustn't say anything which is going to actually make you look bad. But in terms of showmanship, you can preen and you can strut. And you can tell the crowd to, you know, be quiet, I'm doing my work here, you know. You can do all of that. But as soon as you're speaking to the camera, as soon as you're speaking to the audience, then you must speak with humility.
You are mine, you belong to me. I am the man.
Of course, we're talking about Nigel Benn there. Could you give me a prophecy on that fight, please?
I can't predict. I'm not clairvoyant. I am the man, and I will continue to be the man for as long as I am undefeated. I am the man.
It was an amazing time, Chris, because Saturday nights live on ITV, you and Nigel, I mean, you effectively stopped the country.
Take a deep breath as we are at ringside here, and let's hope, well, it lives up to half the expectations this fight. That'll do.
I'm just grateful for the fact that he was dark and I was light. I was like the practitioner, the general practitioner, and he was like the street thug or kid. You know, so, you know, he was perfect for me and I was perfect for him. He believed in his stance in terms of, you know, I hate him, and that's how he generated his motive. You know, I was always objective. On that particular night in question, I will show that I have what it takes. This man is nothing but, he's the real hype. I come up the hard way. I didn't have Frank Warren.
Myself, boy.
You had your time. Let's have some parliamentary procedure here, all right?
Oh, God.
We're in the studio. It's about 3 weeks before the fight, 2 weeks before the fight, and we have to sign the contract. You know, and Nick Owen says to Ambrose Mendy, his then manager, He says, you know, there seems to be an element of genuine hate between these two, Ambrose. Before Ambrose can respond, I say,
I don't hate the man. I just want his WBO title. I pray that I have enough dignity not to hate the man.
Exactly
Hate doesn't come into it for me. Hate destroys the game and makes it look brutal, and that's why a lot of people don't take to it. I don't hate the man. I want the man's title, and I intend to prove that I'm a better fighter than the man, which I am.
All right, gentlemen, you both signed a contract.
I personally do hate him.
You can never, ever find, whatever cuttings, whatever footage you can find, you'll never find me saying, I even dislike him. I was always objective. It's why I won.
I think he was falling for that.
That was big.
Oh, what a shot.
Shot really shook him.
Opened him up with the left hand and then shot the right hand over, and it connected. There's the countdown. If he did go down, the count would continue.
Ben's shaking, Reg.
Oh, right through his boots, Jim.
Ben is shaking. The eyes watch, Reg. This will be the finish of the belt.
And it's all over in the 9th round.
It's nothing personal. Don't get personal. Life is too short. Smile. Keep your eye on the target, and don't let anything kind of derail your focus on that target. Hate doesn't do it. Anger doesn't allow you to win. It's all intelligence.
Difficult to weigh up Eubank the whole time, do you know what I mean? He just won't let you know what he's doing, and he certainly won't let the opponent know what he's doing.
I set the standard, and I feel I have to actually live to that standard and not do things beneath that standard. It's why I don't do any of these programs they ask me to do, wife swap, come dancing, celebrity, get me out of here. I just turn them all down, and I feel I must because of the fact that I've inspired one or two people.
Bit of an entertainer, Jim Eubank, isn't he?
Period. It's an American term for full stop. Thank you so much.